Hi there, it's Roxanne, Carne, Personal Stylist, where I transform women's wardrobes and I transform their lives. Welcome to Your Life Styled, where I share styling tips for you that'll help you through your personal style journey. And what I wanted to talk to you about today was a theme that I came up with for myself, for my company, for the clients that I help day in and day out for 2020. And the theme that I really, it culminated late last year for me, and I'll tell you why in a moment, but the theme that came together was say yes to you. That is the theme, that is my motto for 2020. And I came up with this because in my journey, especially as of late, I have the opportunity to work with women one-on-one with really pulling their style together, taking a vision to fruition and making them feel great, beautiful, and confident. But it takes a lot of work to even begin the conversation. And that's where Say Yes to You was born, because I have so many fantastic and amazing women that I interact with that are not saying yes to themselves. And they're not saying yes to themselves for a myriad of reasons. Most of them are working professionals, business owners, busy mothers, and they oftentimes are putting other people and things in front of their own needs. And when you really kind of get to you're hitting your stride in your mid-30s, late 30s, getting to your early and mid-40s, and that's when a lot of women come to me for styling help. It's because they've hit a moment where they're pivoting and they're just like, I need help. I don't know how to get past this rut that I'm in at the moment. And I don't want to do it by myself. It takes a lot of courage to be able to do that, but it takes a lot of courage and also clarity just to even recognize that that's something you need to do for yourself. So that's why I put together the blog post I did just a couple months ago at the beginning of the year called Say Yes to You, where I share some tips on how you can do that. And I'm gonna walk through that with you today. So let's go ahead and start with number one. So number one is sit and think, okay? We run so quickly in this world. Everything is on demand between your iPad, your phone, life, meetings, you're just go, 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 go. For busy women, it's really, really hard to just be able to take a moment to yourself. And I'm not talking about a vacation. I just mean some quality time with yourself just to, catch up, to think about what's going well in your life, to think about maybe what's not going so well or areas for development. And being able to parse out that time is really, really important. So before you begin any type of personal journey, you need to carve out time to sit and actually think. And within step number one, I'm gonna give you three sub-steps that I think will help you in that journey as well. And I am going to be borrowing these three steps from my friend, Janae Hill. She is a fantastic brand strategist, business strategist, and also media producer here in the Dallas area. And she recently had a talk for her Women of Excellence group. It was a kickoff that was at the beginning of this year. And we talked about the different elements of how you move through, how you get clarity. So the first tip that she shared, that I want to share with you, is define what you want and why you want it, with an emphasis on why. So what is it do I want at this point in my life? And what's driving those desires? Why am I leaning toward this as opposed to that? You really need to understand and assess where you are now before you can, build a path forward. So really defining what you want and be crisp about that. Get as detailed as you need to be, because that'll help you so much more in being able to lay out a game plan of how you're going to achieve that goal or that desire. And again, really reflect on why you want it. The second one is identifying which choices you are ready, willing, and able to make, okay? This is really important because we make choices every day, or we choose not to make choices. But when you're making choices, they are based off of what you're ready, willing, and able to do. You may be ready and willing to do something, but you might not be able to actually do it, right? Maybe because there are time constraints or financial constraints. But identify what that is, because if it is, for instance, a financial constraint, then you then can put together a game plan and say, okay, well, I'm gonna save up enough of a reserve so I can do X, Y, and Z. So it's really important that you identify those choices that you are ready, willing, and able to make. And the ready and willing is also really, really important. You know, when you tell yourself that you are ready, that's monumental. You know, a lot of us, when we are dealing through things, navigating through difficult times, you tend to get stuck, but you need to get to yourself to a point where you are ready to make that change. And you tell yourself, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make this happen. And then willing. You can't, you know, you can be as ready as you want, but you need to be willing to actually bring it to fruition, to actually do it. So remember those three steps: ready, willing, and able. And then the last tip that she had that I really liked, and really hones in, especially with the ladies that I work with, that I typically work with, are what are some beliefs that you have that are not working for ultimately what you want? Again, what are some beliefs that you have that are not working rather, for ultimately what you want? So I'm gonna give you a great example of this. A lot of times when I am consulting with women about their image, their personal branding, their style, their wardrobe, they tend to put roadblocks up. One of the most common roadblocks is about their own body and their body image, their body type. It's always, I'm not X enough, or I need to lose, X number of pounds, or I've got to reach these particular fitness goals before I'm able to wear what I really want to wear. And while it's great to have those goals, it's a reason not to do something, right? You want to really break down, again, these beliefs that are hindering you from a path of growth, a path of development. And it's literally in the way of what you want to do. So shedding those beliefs. So instead of saying to yourself, gosh, I want to be a certain weight before I invest in my style, which to me, that doesn't make any sense anyway, because you can be stylish at any weight. Think about, well, how can I leverage what I have? Or how can I introduce pieces into my wardrobe that are going to make me look great in my current weight today? Because I am beautiful, because I am worth it. And my beauty isn't tied to a particular weight or size. So again, really kind of dissecting and understanding what innate kind of beliefs that you hold, that you tell yourself every day, that are really ultimately getting in the way of you taking that step forward, okay? So when you, number one, sit and think, you're gonna think about those three aspects, because that's gonna help you move to the next step, which is number two, ask for help. So when you are navigating through any issues or problems, or just really kind of determining what your next step is going to be, it's not easy to do that by yourself. You can only get so far, but you will always be so much more effective and so much more laser focused if you have others to help. Others could be people in your family. They could be mentors. They could be coaches. I know in my about 15 years ago or so, I invested in myself by hiring a career coach. It was a point in my life where I was pivoting, and I was in my mid-20s at the time, and I really wanted to get someone that was going to be a partner to help keep me accountable, but also really get crystal clear on what goals I had for myself, but also shaping them into realistic goals. Later in years down the road, probably this is going maybe about 3 to 4 years ago, I did work with a business coach as well, because once again, I was at a point where I was pivoting in my business in terms of refocusing on who I really wanted to work with, what types of services I really wanted to have as my premium services. And that experience was so enlightening. And I'm still implementing the work that we did then in what I do day in and day out, and creating the business that I wanted and the experiences that I wanted for my clients. So I was not afraid to ask for help in an area that I was not an expert in, or in an area where I really could leverage other people's wisdom and leverage their time spent with me to help me get to that next great place. So I say the same to you, whatever it may be. They're experts in everything. They're experts in nutrition, in fitness, in personal life coaching. I mentioned business coaching, career coaching. I'm a personal stylist. I work with clients with their wardrobe. You can tap into so many different types of talent in terms of identifying someone that can help you, again, get clarity on what your goals are, help them shape them into a realistic way and manner for you, and help you put a plan on how you're actually going to pull it off, okay? So do not be afraid to ask for help. And then finally, the third tip that I have for you in saying yes to you is just execute your goals, just do it, okay? Stop wasting time, stop procrastinating. By now, you've sat and thought about all of what you need to do. You've worked with a mentor or a family member or a team member to help you crystallize what your goals are, and again, shaping them into measurable and realistic goals. Now it's the time to put it into place, and also go back to that person that you leaned on and have them keep you accountable. Set timelines, engage in other areas that kind of complement what you're doing to help you, really just to help you execute and do things a little bit easier. So it really is just a matter of taking ownership and thinking, I can do this, and actually doing it. And I don't know if you're like me. With me, when I have a list in front of me of things to do, it feels so good just to cross each one off as I go along, because I feel like I'm accomplishing something and I'm actually doing what I set out to do. It feels so good to come to a point where you have achieved your goals. And not to say that you never will have future goals beyond that, because most of us always do. There's always something else that you want to do. But really to say, gosh, you know what? I did it. And I did it in the best way because I leveraged other people that were experts and I made it happen. So what I'd love for you to do in the comment box below is definitely, I want you to take these steps, break them down and apply them to yourselves, and tell me how you're executing the 3 points that I shared with you. How you're carving out time to dedicate to yourself to think through what your goals are. How you are leveraging other people in your network, in your family, to help you reach those goals, and then how you're going about executing it. And what your progress is. I'd love to hear that. And then also, maybe throw a little spin in it too. I'd love for you to share with me how you would want to do that for your personal image, for your style. As a stylist, when I help people look good, they feel good. So I want to hear about what steps you're taking to say yes to you when it comes to your personal image and your brand. So I hope these tips were really helpful for you today. Definitely like, share, and subscribe if this resonates with you. And I'd love any additional tips or questions you may have on any other videos that I can create that are all about this, because sometimes you just need someone that's in your corner that's going to help you and provide insights, and that's what I love to do. That's why I do what I do. So yes, definitely comment on that, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.